sector, but we would want some outcomes in these contracts, wouldn't we? How are they going?
I would have to come back to you on that. We don't yet have the first reports through, so the first funding round, some of those funding agreements haven't been going for that long. Some of them have been going for longer, so we don't actually have accountability reports back yet. But we are, working quite closely with them. So in terms of what we would have expected at this point, we're happy with the progress that's being made. I think we're more coming from the angle, for example, like we're supporting LifeWise to do some extensive work around looking at the housing first model, because that's what the research shows is by far the most successful model. So, it's kind of a longer term thing. It's how do we support them to get the resources they need to be able to implement that model, because that's going to have the biggest difference long term. For example, we've supported Youthline to do a feasibility study to look at how they can support youth homelessness, because they've had some ideas, but they need to do a lot more work to get it to a point where it's going to be where government's going to look to fund it, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Thank you. And also we're doing those inspections, aren't we, of the boarding houses and accommodation through Mr. Barnes's team. So that must all help. Councillor Wayne Walker.
Sure. Got a couple of questions. The first one goes to the matter I raised when we looked to kick off this program, and that's around how we're able to capture the memory that you're developing, the obvious methodologies, contacts and so on, because what I'm mindful of is in this council we appear to go through ongoing restructures, and I've seen tremendous losses of staff across various areas, and I hope that your unit is able to stay, but I'm mindful that we really need to try and capture things as we proceed. So have you got some things in place to do that?
Through the chair, yes. Again, I think that's work in progress, but through the work of our practice team, we would be doing case studies. So, and through the evaluation, actually, we'll be looking at case studies as well. So, and building a practice framework, which will set out, the framework within which the Empower Communities approach operates.
Okay, and the other matter I want to raise as a question just goes to consistency, and it may be that Mr. Kimpton is better able to address it. And that goes to a background where across council, in Enviro schools, in Make a Difference, in Waikea, we're seeing massive cuts. I mean, half of the budget effectively cut, significant losses in offices. And these are in areas where we're trying to make a difference. These are all units that are empowering communities, from early childhood in Enviro schools through schools to teenagers, university students, and make a difference. And the circumstance where in communities where people want to take control of their berms, don't want to have sprays, want to do things that we see the exact difference, the exact opposite. We see disempowerment. So my question goes to consistency across council, and the things that I see happening on the ground, where
Well, it's not, no,
sure, this is good.
Councillor, stop. I've asked you for a question.
That is a question.
You're making a great
No.
statement
My question
and-
is around consistency.
Okay, well, Mr. Kimpton's got the question. He'll answer it, and that'll be that.
We seek to provide consistency, and that's certainly at the heart of what we're always looking to do, and that includes the other activities that you've reminded us of, Councillor Walker. What I think the most appropriate thing to do is there has been some broad communications around changes within the Environmental Services Unit, and I'm happy to redistribute those so you understand what the nature of those changes are, so everybody's both reminded and clear on them. And I'll leave it at that. I think that's most appropriate.
Thank you.
I think, and it goes to a point
No,
we made.
we don't want your
This is
views.
a
We want
question. This is a question. It's a question.
Well,
And
don't
it goes
say
to
I-
openness and transparency. And that is, fine, tell us, but let's tell the community at large what we're doing to Enviro schools, to Waicare, to make a difference
No,
to all these areas
stop.
where we're making
You're
cuts.
making a
Because they
statement.
need to know.
No,
it's
you're out
a
of
question.
order. You're
It's
out
a
of order,
question.
councillor. You're out of order. Please desist from those statements which just really trifle with me and the chair, and it's really unbecoming of you, and it leads to disorder in this, in the committee. So don't do it anymore. Thank you. With that, I intend to move the recommendation. I've added the bit on in relation to what councillor Quack's raised, which is just to cover any points that have been raised with those documents. Is there a seconder for that, please?
Yep.
Oh, councillor Brewer, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to seek some level of comfort because I sat at the Mission Bay Kohimarama AGM, residents AGM, earlier in the week, and Brett Young did a presentation to the community there about the role of the unit and the role of him as a strategic broker. And I suppose my question is, are the strategic brokers on a bit of an outreach program, given that this, this is well ensconced here as a resource for the community? I would hate to think that the strategic brokers may think sitting in a local board meeting at 9 o'clock at night when there's only half a dozen elected representatives and staff members was part of that strategic outreach, because I know that Residents Association got a lot out of
Oh,
what
come
Brett
on,
was
councillor,
saying.
you're
So is
making
that
a
outreach
statement too.
program part of, certainly part of their job description, getting out there amongst the community Residents Association, because it's AGM season and this would be the great
Councillor,
opportunity.
yours was
That's the
very
last
long.
one for the day, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. There was a nod, I saw a nod, so you got the answer. I've had it, it's been moved and it's been seconded by councillor Casey. I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Aye. Against? Declare that carried. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got a yes.
So we now move to item 14.
I think I'll do my questions in writing.